Good morning, JSU, Lehman College, Notre Dame, and Purdue. Today is Wednesday, May 13th, and we're about to kick off another great day of science. Today, we're jumping back into our restoration project just to get a few updates. Before we were working with animals and trying to figure out why the animals in the project area were not growing and thriving. But now we're looking at plants, specifically the Cecropia tree, and why it's not growing and thriving. Natural Resources Rescue received our first rainforest restoration plans and sent us new data about the current condition of the rainforest. The new data includes photographs of the project area and a healthy rainforest for us to compare. So remember, you have a healthy rainforest that we're comparing to what we're working with, which is the project area. So let's take a look at the data. So it looks like we're comparing the number of Cecropia trees, the average height, and the average width of the leaves of the plants. So already we see that in our project area, we have fewer Cecropia trees than we would normally have in a healthy rainforest. The average height is way smaller at 4 meters than in a healthy rainforest, and the average width, which is going to tell you how wide something is a lot smaller than it would be in a healthy rainforest. Now, remember, we're looking at Cecropia trees, so they should be able to grow the same height. They should be able to have leaves that are the same width, and they should definitely be able to grow at a pretty fast pace. But we're seeing here a lot of differences in these numbers, and it has to be because our project area is lacking. So we're going to figure out what our project area is lacking so that we can figure out how we can improve the project area. So we've already gone over what ideas, basic ideas we have about the project area. What other things are you thinking by looking at this data? So for our project, we are investigating why the Cecropia trees aren't growing and thriving in the project area. And then we're going to create a rainforest restoration plan, similar to how we did with the sloths and the jaguars. And when we talk about a restoration plan, what we're actually doing is we're writing an argument about why the trees aren't growing and thriving, and then suggest action steps to restore the rainforest. So in chapter 2, we're answering the question, why aren't the Cecropia trees growing and thriving? In order to figure out whether food has something to do with why the Cecropia trees aren't growing and thriving, we need to figure out where plants get their food. Now, should be something that a lot of you are probably already saying, Miss Bell, I already know this. I learned this in third grade or fourth grade. That's excellent because we need your expertise for this project that we're about to work on. So that is the question that we'll investigate. Where do food molecules for plants come from? We know that a lot of animals eat plants, and we know that a lot of animals eat animals. But where do the plants get their food from? That's what we're going to be figuring out in this chapter of our unit. So we're going to have a simulation to do a simulation today. What you're going to do to get to the sim is log into Clever, then make sure that you click on Amplify. Once you click on Amplify, it's going to lead you to the 4 different units, and you're going to click on this one that says Ecosystem Restoration Unit, and then you'll click on the orange number 1. You get a chance to kind of play around with the simulation. So I'm not going to go over what exactly you'll be doing, but I'm going to go over the questions that you are going to be answering, starting with your do now. The do now says, think of a plant or find one near you to observe. What does a healthy plant look like? What do you see that what what do you see? I'm getting tongue tied. What do you see that plant um, helps you to know it is healthy? Okay, so it looks like Miss Bell made an error here in her question. So the question should read, how what do you see on the plant that lets you know that it's healthy? Okay, so tell me, what is it that you see? Is it the color of the plant? Is it the way that the plant is um, wilted, or how strong the leaf looks? What is it exactly? How do we know a healthy plant from one that is dying? Then copy and paste a picture to support your response for a 5 bonus points on your lowest quiz grade. Wow. I wonder who's actually going to do it. Hopefully someone who really wants these points. But we'll see. Do now, silent and solo. You may pause the video and begin. Then after this, you'll do your exit ticket. In your exit ticket, you're just answering follow-up questions for things that you're gathering after you've completed the simulation. The first question reads, what things do plants use to get food matter? So don't be confused by the term food matter. Take the matter part off, okay? What things do plants use to get food? Makes a lot more sense. All things are made up of matter. Matter is just another word that the curriculum sometimes can throw in, and it can make it a little bit confusing, but don't let it confuse you, okay? Next question. What evidence do you have that plants use these things to get food matter? You're going to tell me about what you see in the simulation to give you that gave you the response to number 1. Then number 3, what would stop plants from getting food matter? And then the last one, if you stop plants from getting food matter, what happens to the plants? Once you complete your exit ticket, please make sure to submit by clicking the turn in button so that I receive it. Thank you for another great day of science. If you have questions, please feel free to stop by during office hours from noon to 3. Thank you again for another great day of science, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.